Breakfast taco for my sweetie. And for me, of course. Babe, want some salsa? Salsa? No?
Yeah.
Yeah? You want it in your burrito or just want to dip in it? Okay. All right. Now that that's done, breakfast is out of the way. The dogs are fed. Breakfast is done. I'm relaxing. So hello everybody. Y'all, thank you for coming back and joining me on Set Apart with Lisa. I am really happy that you're here. Today is Friday. Today's Friday and it's raining, or it was raining earlier. And so there's a really nice breeze right now. And so I'm just gonna sit on the patio and chat with you guys for a little bit. I wanted to do this video because this video actually is long overdue. I wanted to do a video when we reached our 1 year in the home and just kind of let you guys know how things were going. But you guys have been like just kind of popping me questions and things like that. So I decided, let me just take some time and sit down and answer some of your questions. And so I hope that I have captured most, if not all of your questions. I tried to kind of group them together so I just kind of answered all of them. But if this is your first time meeting me, my name is Lisa Botley. My husband Landon and I relocated to Ghana from Texas almost 2 years ago. So in August of 2023, we moved from Texas to Ghana. We purchased land, built our home, and has been successfully living off-grid in Ghana in Grace City Phase 3 for over a year now. And so I am here to kind of answer some of your questions, to encourage you if I can, and just, go from there. So this, like I said, this video is way overdue. I've meant to do this a long time ago. And so I'm gonna go ahead and get started with some of the questions. I pray that I have answered all of them. If not, you guys just drop me some more and then we'll do another video. We'll do a follow-up video. Okay, so, and these are not in any particular order, but again, I did try to group them together. So, okay, so this first question is not really about build, it's about land. It says, do you still sell land? Absolutely. My husband and I do still sell land. We always have, and that hasn't stopped. The only thing that's changed, you guys, is the name of our channel. We still do the exact same things that we used to do. And again, for if this is your first time here, my husband and I, we are in a partnership with Royal Kingdom Estates. We are brokers. So we sell the land. We have successfully helped over, my husband and I alone have just successfully helped over 80 families purchase land here in Ghana, specifically in the Great City communities, Great City Phase 3, Great City Phase 4. We can also sell land at the View and Black Star Village. And so, like I said, we have successfully helped at least, I stopped counting, at 80 families purchase land here. So yes, if you are interested in purchasing land here in Great City Phase 4, because Phase 3 is sold out, please send us an email at the Botleys in Ghana at gmail.com. That's the Botleys with an S, the letter N, with an S, the letter N, Ghana at gmail.com. Okay, and then reach out to us, and then we'll set something up, have a conversation with you, and we'll bring you along just like we've brought along 80 other families. Okay, so yes, we do still sell land. Alrighty, then number 2, it says, what did you do, or what could you have done to cut costs in your build? So I don't know that we did anything up front to cut cost in our build. I don't think, well, not necessarily in the build, but what we did do was, especially when my husband bought his truck, anything that we could pick up, we picked up. And that was like towards the end with our finishings, like doors and things like that, tile, things like some of the big material that they needed. We just let them have that delivered, like the cement and all that kind of stuff. We just let them have that stuff delivered. But when it was time for us to do like tile and things like that, we even picked up a whole poly tank. So anything that we could pick up, we just picked up. And so that saved a little bit on transport, those types of things. And so we did do things like that. And we didn't do this, but you know, talking to a lot of other those who are building here in these communities, they're ordering a lot of things from China. Okay, that seems to be a really big thing right now. Like their solar system panels and all that kind of stuff they're ordering from China. Their roofing sheets, they're ordering those things from China. So I encourage you to kind of look at those things as options. That kind of wasn't, we didn't know anything about that when we were building. So we found it easier at the time to just, you know, let them do it all. But, you know, people are doing it. So, you know, look into those things, those options, and ordering some of your things from China. Okay. So that's kind of, you know, oh, and there's another thing. Like now, my husband and I, we laugh about this all the time. So around our compound and even in our house, there's a lot of lights. We have a lot of lights on this compound, like a lot of lights, and we never use them. We never use the lights. And so even on the inside of our house, it's beautiful, you know, especially those lights in the POP. It's very pretty, it's beautiful, but we don't use all of those lights. We don't turn on all those lights. The only time we turn those lights on is when somebody comes and they want to see what it looks like all lit up. Then we'll turn it on, but for the most part, we don't turn on all those lights. And so maybe that would have cut a little cost in on the electrician side with the installation and the workmanship and things like that, because we have a lot of lights on this compound. Trust me when I tell you, we have a lot. And so we laugh about it now and we think we didn't need all of these lights, but we didn't know. So it's pretty, but we didn't need them. All right, question number 3, and this is a question that I get a lot. It's about the solar and the borehole, because we live completely off grid here in Great City Phase 3, and we wanted to. My husband and I wanted to live completely off grid. And what do I mean by off grid? I mean by off grid is we have our own water supply. That means we're not on Ghana water. We don't pay a water bill. We have our own light supply. We do solar, so we're not on Ghana electric. We're not on the grid, so we don't have an electric bill. Those types of things. And so the solar's working fine. Now keep in mind, my husband and I, it's only 2 of us. We're a family of 2. And so like on days like today, it's very, very overcast. And so where we may not get as much energy to the batteries as we would on a full sunny day. Now don't get me wrong, even on overcast day, the batteries will still charge to 100%. But if you're running like ACs and every light in the house is on and every appliance is going on at the same time, it may eat up your stuff and then not have an opportunity to charge back up to 100% because of the overcast. But we're a family of two. It's rainy season. There's a nice breeze up here. Always a nice breeze. And so we have windows open. We barely seldom sit around with lights on in the house. And so we reserve energy really well. So that's, but it works really, well for our house. Now, what we have found out is during dry season that we could benefit from a couple more batteries. So we are going to be purchasing a couple more batteries because just the more batteries you have, the more energy you can preserve, and then you'll just have it. So just over time, we'll be adding to that solar system. But for now, it works fine for my husband and myself, and especially during rainy season. Now, if you are a family of 4 or 5 and you have children involved or those types of things, a lot more activity going on in your house than what we have, then you'll probably want to manage that a little bit more, depending on, what your system is like. Okay, but again, my husband and I are a family of 2. We're never running more than one television. There's never a reason to have on a bunch of lights. It's rainy season, so we don't use the ACs. So it's fine. It's fine. But we did realize that during the dry season that we need to kind of add some things to our system. So we'll be working on that. Now, the borehole is our water supply. And for those of you all who don't know what a borehole is, and some don't because they've asked me to explain it, I didn't until we moved here. But a borehole is our water supply. And I think some of you refer to that in the States as a well, except for you don't manually pump your water from the ground as you do with a well from back in the day, right? So here they drill down into the ground until they've hit water, right? And so we have a constant water supply. And so then the water collects into a poly tank, and then it goes through a filter system, and then it collects into another poly tank. And the water from that poly tank is then pumped into the house. So that's the water that we have. And so we don't have a water bill, and we don't have an electric bill. So that's what I mean when I say we are completely off grid. They are working fine. The borehole's working fine. We've not had any issues with that. We also have solar hot water too. So we don't have hot water heaters in our home. We have the one hot water tank, solar hot water tank, and it works just fine. So no water bill, no electric bill. That's what I mean about off grid. And so successfully living off grid for over a year. All right, this one says, how do the locals treat you? The locals are very nice. Like, everybody knows that we're out here. Everybody is very kind. One thing I have learned about the Ghanaian community is that they're very family oriented, very, very family oriented. Some of us coming from the States, some of us are family oriented, but in a different way. Like, we love our families, but Ghanaians are very family oriented, and you almost have to kind of be around them to kind of know exactly what I'm talking about, right? And so everybody's very nice. Everybody's very pleasant. My husband and I are doing a much better job with infiltrating ourselves in the community, because we can tend to be like quiet people. We're very much introverted, where we like to be at home, but this is our community, right? So we live here. We have been living here for over a year. So we are very intentional now about doing a lot of our as much as we can, our shopping up here. Now, we will go to Accra whenever we have to, we need something specific, or if we have to run errands, we'll pick up something down there. But for the most part, a lot of the locals here, they don't leave this community and go to Accra to shop. They do it all up here. And so we've been very intentional about doing that. Like, there's several cold stores we can go to and get all of our protein, and you can get eggs on every corner, fruits and vegetables on every corner, all of your dry goods, flours, rice, pasta, whatever you want on every corner. You can get it, shower gels, toothpaste, whatever you need, you guys, it's up here on this mountain, and so we have found that, when we intentionally go to some of these establishments, and establish a relationship or just have our faces seen, it's just so much better. I remember maybe several months ago, we went down to one of the places here up on the mountain, and I wanted to buy a fan, like a stand-up fan. It was during dry season, so it was hot. I wanted a fan, and the system was down, right? So the network was down, and so there was no way for me to pay him money for the fan. And so we got a fan. I think we got like a pitchfork or something like that for the garden and a couple of other things. And he says, "Oh, just take it and send me the money when the network comes back up." And I was like, "Really?" And he was like, "Yes, just take it." And I just really appreciated that. I appreciated that because he didn't have to do that. He didn't know me. He didn't, I had never stopped there before, but just because he felt like, oh, just take it. He just trusted me. And so, and I think that's because maybe he sees us up and down, like I said, and we're getting better at with intentionally stopping at different places and patronizing them and buying things from them and things like that, because this is our community, so we kind of want to be in the community. And so even at the Kohl's store, there's a Kohl's store, I can call the young lady, her name is Angie, and I can say, "Angie, do you have this? I'm gonna come and get this if you have it." And she'll says, "Oh yes, I have it," and I'll go get it, that type of thing. And so as opposed to just making a trip and you don't have it, I can just call her on the phone. And so, but that comes with intention, because what I realize is that sometimes, and what I've heard people say is, people don't smile at you. But what I've had to say, well, I ain't smiling at nobody either. So what happens if I smile first? Then I get a smile back. So it's a lot of that. So, because sometimes, just like sometimes we're standoffish and don't know, people can be the same way. So if you offer a smile first, you'll see that you'll get it back. Like the face just lights up and everybody's just, you have to see. But be intentional about building those relationships. But the locals are fabulous. So not a problem. Do you feel safe? Absolutely, we feel safe. Absolutely. Now, when you are here, you have to do what you do in the States. Like, what do you do to secure your home in the States? What do you do to just make sure you're safe every day? You just have to do those same things here. You should anyway. Like I said, we have, we've taken, done we have security here on the compound. We have our dogs. We have, it's just very secure. But nobody's trying to hurt us. But use wisdom. Just use wisdom, right? Lock up your doors. Would you leave your doors unlocked in the States? No, just so don't do it here. But for the most part, it's pretty safe. We feel very safe. All right. Do I have any advice for building? Yes, get started soon. Oh, that's good. Yeah, get started soon. And I say that because, y'all, the prices of things are going up. Nothing's going down. It's not going down. It's going up. So things are increasing. And so you want to get started as soon as you can. Also have a good relationship with your contractor. Make sure you guys are communicating with your contractor as well as your architect and what it is that you want. Make sure that your drawing is exactly what you want. Every room is where you want. Every bathroom, every closet, every corridor and entryway is where you want it on the blueprint. And so make sure that you are in communication with your builder and what you want and things like that. And so, yeah, I would say get started as soon as you can, because things are increasing. Prices are increasing. Nothing's getting cheaper at all. All right, so how's the healthcare? Healthcare is great, and I will tell you, my husband and I have said this several times. All praise to the Most High. We haven't had an emergency, but if we did, there's plenty of facilities we can go to. We're just very grateful that we haven't had any emergencies. So we have established care with Luca Health for some coexisting conditions that my husband and I are having managed, and so we've been loving going there. Our doctor is Dr. Anita at Luca Health. And so it's really good. Like I said, no major problems. But I tell you guys, we've had families move here and they've had babies here, right? At state-of-the-art facilities, excellent care for them and their babies. And so all of the things that you guys are concerned about as far as your health care, you'll be fine. I promise you. But do your research, get comfortable on your own, call up some of these facilities, ask questions, look them up online. But healthcare is great. Families are moving here every day and they're thriving, right? They're thriving. Keep in mind though, you guys, and not necessarily with the facilities, but keep in mind that, just because we move to Ghana or wherever we're moving, if we have health conditions, they still have to be managed. Yes, there are a lot of options, much healthier options here, but there are also the bad options. The same options we had in the States, those same options are here. Burger King's here, KFC's here, Pizza Hut's here. All of the things that you buy in the States, you can find them here. All of the unhealthy things that you purchase in the States that has you in whatever condition you're dealing with, you can and will find them here. So it really comes down to us making a choice, right? We still have to manage our health. We still have to manage our diets and things like that. And so I'm preaching to the choir. I'm talking to me too. We still have to do that. So just moving here alone, yes, you won't be stressed, possibly if you don't create your own avenue of stress. But keep that in mind that you have to manage your health still, because all of those bad options, you can and will find them here the longer you're here. All right. Oh, last question. Do I get bored? Nope. This is good, y'all. So y'all, this is cinnamon. I boiled some cinnamon sticks. This is cinnamon, lemon, and ginger, and a little honey. It's so good. But no, I don't get bored. I don't get bored at all. And I will tell you, there's so much to do. I have a garden, for you all who don't know. I have a garden that I am building and managing every day. And so that keeps me busy, right? I'm an introvert, so I love to be at home. I don't mind being at home. I like it when my house is cleaned. So I love cleaning my house. I don't mind cleaning my house and, being out here on my patio, making videos, reading a book. I just don't ever get bored. When I was in the States, I was a workaholic. I can say that. I worked in compliance. If you guys know anything about medical compliance, that's what I did. And so it was very demanding, although I did love it. I really enjoyed it. I did. It was a lot of work though, and it was very stressful. And so, no, I don't get bored at all. I don't get bored at all. There's so much I can find to do here. I don't get bored. And so there's tons of things you can involve yourself in though. Again, being at home is just what we like to do, but there's so much you can get involved in here in Ghana. So much you can get involved in. And so it's out there. Yeah. And so y'all, those were just some of the questions that went really fast. And I hope that I answered some of your questions or most of your questions, but we have been, again, in wrapping it up, we have been living successfully off-grid in Gray City Phase 3 for a little over a year, and I would not change a thing. I wouldn't change a thing. Moving here has been the best decision. My husband and I have talked about it. We were just like, moving here has been the best thing ever. Like, there's no stress. We're very peaceful. If you can tell, you guys, it's very quiet. It's Friday and it's very, very quiet. Even with all the construction going on around, because people are building their houses, Phase 3 is definitely booming. There's so many people starting their projects. And even with the projects going on around here, it's still very quiet. You may hear like some, trucks delivering some materials, but for the most part, it's very, very quiet, very peaceful. We're very happy here. And yeah, we love it. We love it. And so I know that some of you all are working on your projects and working out the logistics of coming here yourselves. And so We're praying for you and looking forward to you coming and making it and starting your projects. And like I said, people are moving here every day. They're relocating their families here every day. They're having families here. They're having babies here. So it's pretty amazing. It's pretty amazing. And so that is it. Yep, successfully off-grid for a year here in Grace City Phase 3. So again, if you guys are interested in having us help you purchase land in Grace City Phase 4, because Phase 3 is sold out, please send us an email at thebotleysingana@gmail.com. Again, that's the Botleys with an S, in Ghana @gmail.com. And we'll be happy to help you become one of our neighbors. Okay? See you in the next video. Shalom.